here some very overgrown clover, and I'm gonna feed it to the horses because I know they love clover. And it's not really worth it to pick it if it's short, so since that was so tall, picked it. The horses are getting real skinny now that their summer and hair came off. So they love clover. I throw them some weeds from the garden occasionally when I'm in there, and they love it. So we had to bring Pi Pi inside because some reason she can't walk right now. Here's an overlook of the garden. Everything's planted for the most part. Right now I'm picking asparagus. This is one of our newer patches at my grandma's house. They're pretty thick, as you can see, but I'm pretty sure our older patch is done producing like the ones we like to eat, so got a nice amount. That's good. I got my second little bit of lettuce today. Today I'm making blueberry pancakes. We use frozen blueberries. Gonna pick some lettuce today. It's looking real good. Here is some of the rhubarb that my grandma got. I'm going to be making a rhubarb crisp, so I'm cutting it small. And I added ice cream with a little strawberry, because strawberry and rhubarb go together well. So I cut the ends off the asparagus. I'm going to boil them, well, not boil them, kind of boil them for 3 minutes. Add cheese after I drain the water. Got another handful of spinach today, my second handful this season, so that's good. We got 25 new Barred Rock chicks. So on this nice day, we are saddling the horses. Here's her. I haven't put her bridle on yet. So let's see if I can get her whole body in. This is Suha, my horse. We haven't been working with them much, and they're not really saddle trained, or they're not really used to being ridden, so we've been trying to work with them, but we kind of haven't for a while, so I'm gonna try. They were tied up most of the day, which always helps with their behavior, and then I slowly put parts of her saddle on. And I'm gonna lunch her again before I try anything else saddle-wise, but I'm gonna put her right on here in a minute. And she's acting alright so far. That's my sister over there with Harley. I'm just kind of resting now. It's not very tight because I don't know, I haven't really gotten very good at this knot here. So I could have done it an extra loop, but I can never seem to make it tight when I do an extra loop. I'm not good at making it tight. You have to have extreme patience to feed slow goats. I don't have much patience. Whoops. So she's really kind of frustrating me right now because she keeps wasting milk. She finally gets going and then she makes me think like that. Might come back and feed her later. So, sorry I didn't get a video out on Friday, but I've been pretty busy. Here's the cauliflower. I just tilled a few days ago, but it looks like I need to do that again. My pepper's down there getting sad because it was so windy the other day and I didn't put a wind blocker around them. But it rained quite a bit last night. Onions are doing well, but one of my broccolis looks so tiny. If you pick these leaves that aren't very important, they can focus on like growing. So you can see what the wind did. So I'm gonna do that. This one has a broccoli head. Tiny one. Tiny. They got all blown around. They were straight and everything. That one's pretty big. but a lot of weeds. And I'll weed as soon as it gets dry. There's not really any point. The wind really damaged a lot of stuff. This basil is actually very hardy. My rhubarb is thriving. Need to pick my spinach later. It's dry, so that's good. Sometimes you don't want to pick things when they're wet, especially tomatoes. It'll, like, the plant will rot. But the garlic's doing well. But I put a few buckets on the tomatoes that weren't doing so well, because it has been getting pretty cold for tomatoes lately. But let's go look at the spinach. And as soon as it dries, I'm gonna till and hoe. I did get my pea fence up on half of the peas. Those peas are actually bigger. So when it's dry, I'll put that up too. But here's a nice spinach leaf. Like I said, I literally just weeded along the rows too. You can see some of my little corn coming up from the new patch. But we did get some spray while they sprayed the fields. And surprisingly, I don't see much damage. But the good thing was it did rain that night. And I did rinse everything right off right when they sprayed. So hopefully that's what helped. But last year the peas did not do well after they sprayed, so, and the tomatoes didn't either. But everything's coming along. The carrots are crowded by weeds, but they all look like they came up. And I have so much of this horse something weed. It came out of my bed. That's cool. I drilled holes in it for drainage. But anyway, might get like plastic or something to cover this. But everything is looking great. Besides the wind damage. I do have a few more peppers inside if those do die. But I'm going to try and find some wind blockings. And my lilac that I transplanted is doing amazing, so that's good. But we did have a lot of wind damage the other day. Tomatoes are not liking the cold. I would recommend waiting to plant your tomatoes. It's a smarter idea. But right now, it's too late. But I usually just plant them with my late stuff, like green beans. Later stuff, I should say. But the potatoes are doing amazing. They really need me to add dirt. So what I'm going to do is put the shovel in and lift it. And then I can add dirt underneath. Because you can tell it's really sucking the dirt. On this bottom one, I put some topsoil in, but I put it on top. So I'm going to try and put it underneath next time on the other ones. So hopefully that works. Honestly, it would be better to do some on the bottom and some on the top. but we'll see what we will do. So we did get quite a bit of rain, and I did pick some strawberries on my hanging plants. But we got a lot of rain last night. But everything's looking great. I need to thin this out, but honestly, it's fine. Usually you don't like it so thick, but the leaves are like growing normal size, so I don't see a problem with it. So I'm gonna pick that later. Talk to you later. Can't remember if I told you or not, but we had to put the peacocks in the hoop coop again because all of our flowers, and I'm scared they're gonna get in the garden, so they're in there for a while. Look at our lovely peonies. They're usually more bloomed. This is like the only bush that's actually bloomed, like all of them are bloomed. But usually they're always all bloomed around Mother's Day. So today's Mother's Day, so yeah. So I was on a walk at the creek and I found a iris. I think that's what it's called. And I thought that was cool. There's a few over there, but I thought that was cool to find down here. So here's my setup. I got a piece of cardboard that I'm going to sit on while I pick my lettuce. Because it's so thick, it takes forever to pick. So